If you think we might have on and off waves of inflation like we did prior to when Volcker stepped in at the Fed in the 70s era.
Of course it will happen some in the future. Yes, I think we'll have some of that in the future. And I think more inflation over the next 100 years is inevitable given the nature of democratic.
In a world plagued by economic uncertainty, it's essential to seek wisdom from those who have weathered numerous storms. One such person is Charlie Munger, Vice Chairman of Berkshire Hathaway, a man who has experienced the highs and lows of the industry over several decades. In this video, we dive into Charlie Munger's insights shared at the Daily Journal shareholders meeting, exploring his unique perspective on investing during recession and uncovering valuable lessons for value investors like yourself.
Rate environment, what are the ramifications of moving away from a close to zero interest rate policy? So what do you do now that the interest rate environment is changing?
Well, there's no question about the fact that as interest rates have gone up, it's hostile to stock prices. They should go up. We couldn't have kept them forever at zero. And I just think it's just one more damn thing to adapt to in investment life, is that there are headwinds and there are tailwinds, and one of the headwinds is inflation. And I think more inflation over the next 100 years is inevitable given the nature of politics in a democracy. So I think we'll have more inflation. That's one of the reasons the Daily Journal owns common stocks instead of government bonds.
Munger's pragmatic approach to macroeconomics highlights the unpredictability of inflation and interest rates. While central banks try to forecast and control these factors, they often fall short. Munger advises investors to navigate the macro landscape by treating it as a tide that can either be with or against you. Rather than making short-term predictions, focus on the long-term prospects of your investment.
Having to work at delayed gratification, or is that just how you were born?
No, I learned this trick early. And, you know, they've done that experiment with the 2 marshmallows with little kids.
Yeah.
How
long can you sit? 2
marshmallows if you wait. The little kids who are good at diverting the marshmallows are also the people that succeed in life. It's kind of sad that so much is inborn, so to speak. But you can learn it to some extent, too. So
I'm going to go home and test that out on my kids, see who does well.
I was very lucky. I just naturally took to deferred gratification very early in life. And, of course, it's helped me ever since.
Munger emphasizes that while he might not possess short-term predictive abilities, he excels at forming long-term expectations. By embracing a patient and rational mindset, investors can align their strategies with the broader economic cycle.
Has helped you the most in life?
Well, that's easy. Rationality. If you're just not crazy, you have a big advantage over 95% of the people. Because most people have all kinds of crazy patches. And if you just are consistently not crazy, you get a big advantage in life. And if you're patient and a gratification deferrer, in addition to being not crazy, then it's practically a cinch.
Munger's perspective on waves of inflation reminds us that short-term fluctuations are challenging to predict accurately. Instead, value investors should concentrate on a long-term trend and maintain a resilient investment strategy that can weather various economic scenarios.
Age, wealth, to hold on to rationality?
I think it's always hard, but you get better at it if you get good at it young and keep practicing. But it's never easy.
Munger underscores the significance of delayed gratification, particularly during recessions. To achieve investment success, it is crucial to extend your time horizon and shift your focus from immediate gains to long-term wealth accumulation. This principle aligns with Munger's investment strategy, which emphasizes holding high-quality businesses for extended periods.
The things that surprised me the most was how much dies. The business world is very much like the physical world, where all the animals die in the course of improving all the species so they can live in niches and so forth. All the animals die and eventually all the species die. That's the system. And when I was young, I didn't realize that same system applied to what happens in capitalism to all the businesses. They're all on their way to dying is the answer. Causes some remarkable deaths. Imagine having Kodak die. It was one of the great trademarks of the world. There was nobody that didn't use film. They dominated film. They knew more about the chemistry of film than anybody else on earth. And of course, the whole damn business went to zero. And look at Xerox was once owned the world. It's just nothing compared to what it once was. So practically everything dies. None of the eminence lasts forever.
Munger stresses the importance of rationality and patience in investing by avoiding irrational decisions driven
Territory and try and outdo him and do all kinds of things like that. I think will not work for most people. And so I always tell, I'm always being visited by young men who say, I'm practicing law and I don't like it. I'd rather be a billionaire. How can I do it?